Hey guys, Johnny Crips 2000 here, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Captain America and the Avengers. This is part 3, the third and final part, and we are in Scene 5, which is the 5th and final level of this game. Rather short game, but as is the case with most arcade games, and especially with beat-em-up games, you can get through them fairly quickly if you know what you're doing, if you're able to get through this gauntlet of enemies. And we are in outer space again, this time playing with Iron Man, who looks awesome, by the way, with his little thrusters there, and this little shooting section of this game. I do like this section. I love sections like these in beat-em-up games because it does break up the action. I think it becomes boring once you get a beat-em-up game where all you do is go right all the time and you basically just beat up enemies. I think this is a nice little break. I do appreciate that they did this, and it does make sense because it progresses the story in a way. Imagine that, a beat-em-up game with an actual story. And here we are again with Captain America. I'm going to be using Captain America until the finale of this game. It is Captain America and the Avengers. I don't know why. I don't know why they just didn't name this game the Avengers. I guess they needed the star power. I guess Iron Man and Captain America couldn't decide, so you know, I'm pretty sure that's the reason why Civil War happened, is Iron Man was just really pissed off that Captain America got his name on the marquee for this game and he didn't. So thanks, Data East, you completely ruined the Marvel Universe. But anyway, here we go with Wasp again. I do like her graphic. It's a little minor thing, but I do like her sparkly graphic. Like I said, this is a very rare appearance by the Wasp. The only other game that I can think of where she actually appears in, and where she's actually playable anyway, is I believe it's in Marvel the Battle for Earth's game, which was the Connect game. I think it's a Connect game. I think it's a Connect and the Wii U game. And I believe, and I may be wrong when I say this, that she's also in Lego Marvel Superheroes, which is a game that I still need to get. Haven't gotten it yet, so definitely need to get that. I'm definitely planning on doing a Let's Play for that. So yeah, that should be great. And yeah, so we're just making our way through here, just beating people up. Now, I do want you guys to take notice of the throw attack here, because as I mentioned before, I do believe that Captain America's throwing, his shield throw there, does go a little slower than the Vision's. And it may just be me thinking this, but I want to say that's the case. And there is Crossbones, which is a character that not many people may know because, let's face it, unless he is a Batman supervillain or a Spider-Man supervillain, chances are you probably don't know who they are. But that is Crossbones. He is typically an enemy of Captain America, and in fact he did appear in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. He was the guy that that strong guy that had the vest. That was Crossbones, even though they never called him that, and he doesn't have like this Crossbones sort of graphic on his vest, but that was supposed to be him. And admittedly, even though I am a huge Marvel fan, it took me a while. The first time I watched Marvel, or not Marvel, but the first time I watched Captain America and the Winter Soldier, I didn't even know that was him, but apparently that was. So there you go, Crossbones was in the MCU. Good for him. I do appreciate when they show off lesser known characters like that.
You can't go through.
But here we go, we are fighting off with Crossbones. And Crossbones' things is that he does utilize knives and things like that. If you don't know who Crossbones is, he's basically just a very highly skilled person. He's essentially a pretty good match against Captain America, who's also a very highly skilled, sort of above average combatant, if you will. So like a superhuman combatant, but he doesn't have any particular superpowers per se. But he is tricky. Obviously he has these ranged attacks, as you guys see there, with his knives, and he does employ these mines, which he throws out these mines, those mines right there, and they actually won't do anything. They'll just kind of explode there if you're far away from them. But if you're close enough to them, they will start chasing after you. So that is something that you need to watch out for. Obviously, if you're playing as 4 players or even 2 players, it's going to be a lot trickier because there are more people on the screen at once. But since I'm playing by myself, it's a little easier to avoid them. If you had more people, then they'll, you know, they'll just start chasing them, and they might run into you, and you know, people might start yelling at each other because, holy crap, dude, why did you just have those things follow you? Not cool, not cool at all. By the way, I don't know who that guy is in the background. I want to say that's the wizard. Oh, no, not the wizard, the Grim Reaper. I don't know why he's in the background. But anyway, here we go. Holy crap, it's the Red Skull. We are getting closer to our finale here. We just have to climb up these stairs, all epic and stuff, and fight off a couple more of these goons. And as I mentioned before, with Captain America, when you jump and you do his Avengers attack, which is the attack where you jump up and you press, while in the midair, you press both jump and attack buttons. He'll do his ranged attacks instead of doing his normal, normal melee attack. His goes straight across, so with some of the enemies, and I love this, just carrying his goon there. I actually didn't know you could do this, and I was so happy that I was able to get this on video. But anyway, we are fighting the Red Skull, and initially he doesn't seem like much, and in fact he really isn't much. He's kind of just like a regular goon. He doesn't have that many, he doesn't really have special attacks, which is really a letdown. But of course, this being a beat 'em up, and this being Marvel and comic book based, you can obviously tell what's going to happen. This isn't actually the final fight. Haha, pun there. But holy crap! He turns into a giant monster Terminator looking thing, and then we find out that the real Red Skull is actually over there in a bubble. I don't know why he's in a bubble. I don't know if he's getting oxygen, and I'm pretty sure he's smoking, so it must be getting really, really bad in there. But anyway, this is the Mech Skull, and this is the actual final boss of this game. Like I said, it's a quick game, but this is a beat 'em up, and this is an arcade game, so this is meant to be fun while it lasts, but it's also meant to drain you of your cores, which I said at the beginning. This will do that, especially you know, when you're playing in the actual arcade game. Obviously I'm playing through emulators, so this isn't as hard as it should be. But the Mech Skull is rather annoying, as you guys can see. He doesn't have any stun animations like some of the other bosses did before, and obviously he has a lot of ranged attacks. This attack in particular that he's doing right there, where he just spins around shooting, that does give you a chance to attack if you stay close to him. The bullets will just kind of go over your head. He does have that whirlwind attack that you guys saw a little while ago with this attack actually, which is kind of annoying, and I still don't know how to completely avoid it, other than just staying far away from him. But I tend to be a little bit more aggressive, as you guys can see there clearly. So I try to just get this over with as soon as possible, and this is a good chance, and a good opportunity to make use of your Avengers attack. So while he's doing some of these moves, you can just stay far away from him and attack from a distance. But once you finish him off, he's just going to stumble back, and he's going to crash into the actual Red Skull. And that should do it. Booyah. And I love these cheesy lines, by the way. I know I've been talking, and maybe you guys haven't been able to hear it, but I love that this is voice acted, actual voice acted, and has like so many cheesy lines, which is reminiscent of sort of like the older Marvel comic book, you know. Kind of reminds me of how in the past Superman would say something like "Great Krypton" or "Great Scott." It's all kinds of fun. But anyway, that is the game. We just stopped Red Skull. I don't know where he went, but waboom, as the sign just said there. And I'm gonna try to read this. I'm gonna wait for it to come up a little bit more. Alright, thanks to the brave and valiant efforts of our heroes, the Avengers, Red Skull and his evil plan was crushed, and the world could once again breathe easily. But for the Avengers, the battle doesn't end there, or end here. Wherever evil exists in this world, they must confront it. Kinda wish this text would go by a little bit faster. In the name of justice, Avengers unite! That's supposed to be Avengers assemble, you dorks. But you know, what can you do? This was probably the first Avengers game anyway, so you know, we'll take whatever we can get at this point. And no, what is that? Sequel bait maybe? No, not really. We never got a sequel to this game. Although it would have been nice to get one. But anyway, guys, that's it for the Avengers, Captain America and the Avengers. It was a great game. I'll just share my thoughts with you guys a little bit. Like I said, this is the arcade version, so it is going to have some differences, I believe, from some main differences from the Super Nintendo version and the Sega Genesis version, which are probably the versions that most people, if they have played them, those are the versions that they played. I prefer the arcade version because, again, that's the version that I remember playing from back in the day, and it is obviously the superior version. Besides the obvious sort of graphical and sound increases of it being better than the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis, I believe that there are also some bosses that are missing and some sections that are missing from the home versions. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's the case with this game. But definitely, if you can find it, if you're a fan of Marvel, if you're a fan of Captain America and the Avengers especially, this is a great game to pick up. It's a fun, easy game. It's a game that you can have fun with multiple people. And yeah, and like I said before, this is one of the very few official Avengers games. We never got a game based off of the movie, which I'm still pissed about. There was going to be a game and it got canceled, which sucks. So it'd be surprising to me if they actually made a game based off Age of Ultron, which, if you guys haven't noticed, we've been in sort of like a dry spell of games based off the Marvel movies. We haven't gotten one in a while, but then again, I guess people didn't like the ones based off of Iron Man and Thor and the Incredible Hulk. The one for Captain America was actually pretty good, so I'm hoping that we'll get some sort of an Avengers action game soon. So yeah, that's it. Those are my thoughts. Again, get this game. This game is awesome. Although I really wish that there would have been some more selectable characters. I just wrote down here the 3 characters that instantly stood out in my mind that we didn't see at all in this game, not even as helper characters like Quicksilver here, is we didn't see Thor, we didn't see Hulk, we didn't see Scarlet Witch. So I think those 3 are definitely the ones that kind of stood out in my mind as characters that I wish we would have seen in this game, in an Avengers game. So maybe in the future, someday, we can get another Avengers beat-em-up game and we can get those guys in there. Especially nowadays with things like PSN and the Xbox Live Arcade and even the Wii U with its downloadable characters or downloadable games with the Virtual Console and stuff like that. I would love to see another Avengers beat-em-up game. But anyway, guys, that's it for me. I'm just going to put my initials here and make it official. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this little game, Captain America and the Avengers. Like I said, if you're a fan of Marvel, if you're a fan of Captain America, Iron Man, Hawkeye, or even the Vision, especially since after next year, I'm pretty sure more people will know who he is, I would definitely suggest getting this game. But getting this game or playing this game on an emulator if you want the arcade version, which it's the version that I would recommend. By the way, this is so sad right here. The one in 5th place, it just had to be Hawkeye, didn't it? It just had. I think even back then, people knew that the person that you made fun of was just Hawkeye. Poor Hawkeye. As always, if you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you want to get more stuff from me. In the meantime, if you like my videos, be sure to find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Raptr, and Screwattack.com to see the other gaming-related content that I upload. Info is in the description. Who knows? Maybe you'll like my stuff. Maybe. Maybe.